Well, after some technical difficulties, because my idiot ass can't hit live video, it hits record instead. This is the Doghouse Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 374 of season 7. Trying new things where we're going to be talking offensive linemen with a good buddy of mine. Everybody seems to know Paul Burkholz.
Hey,
Say hi, Paul.
what's up? How y'all doing? We're here. We're ready to rock, man. Draft is less than a week away, or about a week away.
A little over a week away.
It's here. I'm excited.
I mean, it's eight days until we're actually up in Green Bay. We're up in the motherland for the NFL draft.
We
Uh,
are.
oh, it's going to be so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
At
yes,
least you get
yes.
to stay up there the whole fucking time, and I have to come back for a night, but we won't even get into that bullshit.
Well, let's not go there.
Yeah, we're just not going to go there. We're not going to go there. We're not going to talk about how frustrated I am with all that bullshit. But anyway,
Positive vibes only, bro.
positive vibes only. Oh god, so much shit going on.
There's a lot.
With the NFL draft and just the NFL in general. Dak Prescott yesterday said that he could, if he had to, he could play right now with that injured hamstring that I knew absolutely zero about. So it kind of is what it is. It's struggling to get news outside of prospects visiting teams and stuff.
Well, the
There's some,
Derek Carr news was kind of goofy. That was like kind of blindsided.
yeah,
Derek Carr's shoulder.
yeah, that was really weird because that just kind of came out of nowhere
Right?
where they restructured his contract and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's a shoulder injury. Like, did you not look into it like at all? Like, good job, New Orleans. Um, they really dropped the ball on that whole thing with Derek Carr. I'm surprised that they didn't just cut. I was surprised that they didn't just cut him and just take the loss like they usually will. Um, it just I don't know. It's the NFL. It's some of these teams are just not all that bright when it comes to how they deal with their players and stuff. So
It sure seems like it from the outside, that's for sure.
yeah,
Like some of the way they do business.
yeah. Um, anything you want to talk about Packer related? Get it out of the way.
Well, funny you ask. Well, they had three guys today on the 30 visits. They had Washington State guard Ezra Pohl. They had a receiver Ty Felton and a defensive end edge guy Elijah Roberts for visits today. They also signed like a third string tight end today, and they had the Simmons kid Patrick. That was it, but they had the Simmons kid for the Giants.
Isaiah
Played
Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons. He's a linebacker,
He's a
safety,
hybrid safety,
hybrid,
safety slot corner, linebacker.
kind of a utility guy. Definitely be a special teams ace guy. They could find a way to use him. He'd fit in nice. I mean, he's not like an all-star, but like you're setting your roster at certain like tiers. Like
Yeah.
like I would say Isaiah Duffy, him, Simmons. They're right in there. you know.
Well, I mean, that was the thing. I mean, they're real shallow within the secondary in terms of depth, and at linebacker as well. So I mean, it makes sense if they're looking at somebody that has that flexibility to put him in there. Now, he was a guy that I know I really liked, and I believe you really liked when he was coming out
Yeah.
a few years ago. But he showed promise his rookie year, and then he just kind of fell off the face of the earth, mostly with Arizona Cardinals. But I mean, it's the Arizona Cardinals, so it's usually where players go to die or to retire.
Yeah, he was in that 2020 draft, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But
Anything else?
we have the list of players for the invitees to the first round of the NFL draft up in Green Bay. Do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
I can read it.
All
You
right, you read
got Tyler Booker, Jihad Campbell, Will Campbell, Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart. You got Matthew Golden, Mason Graham, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Will Johnson, McKillen.
Just call him Ted McMillan. Just call him Ted McMillan and be done with it.
Tech. Jalen Milroe, Josh Simmons, Malachi Starks, Shamar Stewart, I should say, Cameron Ward, and Mikael Williams. So they got 17 prospects that'll be up there. And it's just going to be an awesome time. That whole atmosphere is going to be awesome, man. I think Green Bay.
Just everybody's excited once they saw that stage stage kind of go up.
Big old stage too. Man, big old stage.
It's fucking big. I mean, they're always big, no matter what. I mean, the Vegas one wasn't all that big compared to the other ones that we've seen before. God, I'm brain farting. Kansas City was pretty decent. That one was pretty wide, right by the train station there. The one last year in Detroit, that one was pretty. It wasn't all that big. It wasn't all that big. It was tall, but I mean, just depth wise, how they had it all set up, it was long when he went in there, because when we went in there, for whatever, somehow Renee got us to go get walked in there, and go take a look around and stuff, and it was just like, wow, this is a really big covered area for not only the draft platform, but also for the fans that pay the big price to go, sit in their area for cheering on their team and collecting all the, not prizes, but gifts and stuff that they get when they attend each round. But Green Bay, I'm going to be really interested. Tuesday when we go up there, we'll get checked in the hotel, and we'll go take a look around. Go by the draft area and just walk the whole area, because we really want to see where everything's kind of set up. The funniest part to me is, you remember when we were hanging out with Drake May at the I believe it was Habitat for Humanity, the whole Lowe's thing,
Home Depot thing, yeah.
Lowe's. It was Lowe's.
Was it Lowe's? Oh, yeah,
Lowe's. And the Green Bay, a couple of people from the Green Bay contingency were there, and you were just like, "Are you a little overwhelmed?" And they're like, "Yeah, just a little bit or whatever." And you remember what I asked them at all?
I don't remember, but I remember not being too impressed with these people at all.
No.
I was like, we're in trouble.
My question was, are you opening up Lambeau Field?
Oh, yeah.
And they said, absolutely not. We're not. Nothing's going to happen inside of Lambeau Field. And then where's the red carpet? It's in Lambeau Field. I'm like, you had to do something, with the whole stadium thing. You're not just going to have, one of the most historic stadiums in all of the NFL, sit there with nothing going on whatsoever. So
yeah, I remember talking to them, trying to be friendly, like, "Hey, how are you?" They weren't even really personable, and then they were like, you could just tell they're like, like it was like, "Oh crap, we're in trouble." And like, that was the impression they're giving off. I'm like, man, I hope Green Bay is ready for this. I don't think they understand the magnitude of what's coming.
Right.
This is like, you think Packers Sunday tailgate is awesome. Now imagine adding 31 other teams. It's going to be boom. I
mean,
I don't think they were ready.
It was a stark contrast to the people
guys
who were running Detroit. Yeah, when we met them in Kansas City and stuff, and we were just hanging out with them. We didn't even know what we're like. Hey, you guys are wearing all the Detroit stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, well, we're the commission for the Detroit draft," and we're like, "Oh, really?" And we're just like totally hanging out and shooting the shit with them. They were great.
Bought us beers. They convinced us knuckleheads to go to Detroit. That's how well they presented themselves. Those guys people from Detroit. You know, we hung out with them. They made me want to go to who wants to go to Detroit for the draft.
Right.
You know, like everybody seems like it's dangerous. Bro, it was awesome. And the people were awesome. And the whole event was awesome there. They did a really good job.
Detroit did a really good job with what they had, you know, putting it downtown and stuff. And a lot of people were bitching about, you know, having to get around the fence area and stuff. And it's like, dude, they had to have some kind of form of security around that whole area. And I mean, it was disappointing that they really had to turn people away, and then people just started bum rushing the gate. That first night, that Thursday night, I'm like, yes, anarchy in Detroit. This is what we want. This is what we fucking came here for. Just watch this whole city burn just for an NFL draft.
They were so proud of their division championship banner.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, boom! No championship, huh? Yeah.
Little dig there. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, but not sorry.
Not at all. Not at all. And then, you know, Minnesota was crying. Oh, we needed to be re-ranked, so we had a home game. Oh, you got what you deserved, you sons of bitches. I don't even give a shit. And as the Packers just get completely destroyed, you know, right at the beginning, you know, right at the first round well, they didn't get destroyed. They held their own for a while. And
team that compete with the Eagles the whole playoffs. So
here you go. Here's your boy. You see it? Nerds. Yeah. Yeah, we are. And you know who else is? You are, because you're actually watching this fucking live stream right now. So you can suck on
nerds.
Welcome, fellow nerd, to the nerdery.
I forgot my pen protector. Let me hit
I don't have my pen protector. I'm still wearing my stuff from the gym. I went and worked out today, so trying to feel a little less fat. But as you can see, I'm just putting my head up in here, so you can't see anything. I don't need anybody to see my man booties. But let me take a look here. Is there anything else that we really wanted to take a look at? Patrick Peterson officially retired as a Cardinal. It's hard to imagine him as anything else than an Arizona Cardinal. I mean, he spent his time with the Minnesota Vikings, but I mean, Peterson was tried and true, you know, Arizona Cardinal. He was the best player there.
Yeah.
We talked about this one earlier. QB Kenny Pickett plans to start for the Browns. I'm not going there to hang out, he said. Your feelings. All right, Kenny, back into yourself.
Bring your Bud Light mullet with you, or ducktail. I always it's like the '80s kid with the ducktail.
Did you say ducktail?
Yeah, the ducktail in the back, you know.
Ducktail, woo! Get in there, you freaking Scrooge. There is some sad news in you know, NFL college football world, but wide receiver Kyron Lacy, who was, you know, he just finished the LSU Pro Day, but he was getting ready to face a grand jury for manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter, and basically ended himself. We're just going to say it nicely like that. On Saturday. So, little sad news as updated in the spreadsheet, and I'm handling it a little bit better on there. Just saying, he passed away. So we're not going to make any jokes about, you know, any type of, you know, you know, like anything like that. We're not making fun of that. We just don't.
You could have got help.
Derek, take your thumb and go somewhere else.
No.
I'll show you that.
Apparently, during work, our guy at work hurt his thumb, so his thumb is like cartoon size.
Oh, for real? Like, is it
So,
truly like just huge?
yes.
Like, that
It's
sucks.
straight out of Tom and Jerry.
Straight up going hitchhiking now.
Yeah.
Well, do
No.
we want to get started? Do we want to get started on these offensive linemen? Just kind of start running through.
Yeah, let's get to the excitement.
Oh, the excitement of offensive
Offensive
line.
line, man. All right, let's get into some pass sets.
Well, we're going to handle it as we always do. We're handling in alphabetical order, starting at center, guard, and then offensive tackle. Can we please discuss punters next? Oh, that is Jason Wells. And yes, you're going on here. Can we please discuss punters next? We will not be discussing them until later in the draft process, which will be half past never. So I would rather talk about kickers and long snappers than a goddamn punter. Especially since, the Chicago Bears decide, hey, fourth round punter. He was actually pretty good, though. I do have to admit that he was more their MVP than anything.
Right, they put him to work, that's for sure.
No shit. Especially during that long losing streak, it was just like, holy shit.
They should ask for a raise.
He can't. A couple of years, he's getting couple of years, he's going to be the highest paid punter in the whole league. Watch.
Well,
I mean, if they're going to make Kyler Gordon the highest paid freaking slot corner in the league, I think they can afford to pay that punter, in a couple of years. So, but we're going to start at center, then move to guard, and then move to tackle. Right at the top, we have Jacob Bear out of Arkansas State. 6'3", 310 pounds senior. ESPN ranked 7, NFL.com ranked 8. Held his own at the Senior Bowl, sets a nice base, and comes out of his stance with some power. Can get handsy at times, but for the most part, he is solid. You have anything to say about this kid?
Well, I know the Packers brought him in on a visit. I think he's coming off a knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct. So he's like a little bit behind on normal pro day stuff and just coming out of the tail end of the surgery. So
Yep. Next we have Eli Cox out of Kentucky, 6'4", 306 pound senior. He's a pretty big center. ESPN rank 8, NFL.com 10. I had solid drive and can get the defender's weight shifted to where he needs him to be. Very powerful and finds his man right away. If no one is there to block on the line, he immediately moves to the next level on running plays, which is good to see out of your center that he's paying attention. He can grab outside of the pads at times, so he's not perfect. Or if, as I wrote on here, because I need an editor, perfect, doesn't get driven back often, as he has a nice base setup.
Oh, yep.
You're good with Eli Cox?
Wow.
Are you good with Cox? Okay. Gus Hartwig out of Purdue. Moving on. 6'5", 305 pounds senior. PFF has him ranked at 7. That's Pro Football Focus. NFL.com has him rated at 11. Not the biggest fan, as he has trouble getting a solid push on the defender. Has a tendency to drop low to try and make the block.
Yeah, well, this is like a day 5 guy,
Yeah, I know. A lot of these centers are more like day 5 guys. Drew Kendall out of Boston College, 6'4", 308 pound red shirt junior. PFF and ESPN at 5, NFL.com 6. Stands as defender up, but can't do much else with him. For his size, he comes off very weak. Feet come off as very heavy when he stops moving them on the block. They did have
his dad was. I'm sorry, he's a bloodline guy. He was. His dad was in Boston. Was drafted, so it comes from blood. Played in the NFL for a few years.
Fair.
I'm trying to remember what team. I think it was the Jets, but
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Jake Majors out of Texas, 6'3", 306 pound senior. I'm going to say something right out of the gate with the Texas guys. So, Texas made it as far as they did in the college football playoffs, and I'm very surprised with how poor, the offensive linemen really kind of looked, at least in my eyes. PFF ranked at 4, 9 on ESPN.com, and number 1 on NFL.com. Now, that is mostly with their prospect grade ratings. His pass blocking is solid, but he has difficulty while run blocking. There's just not enough power coming out of his stance, so he can't push the defender back. Is what I said. You want to interject, or you want me just to keep going,
Keep going.
and then you'll fill in when you want.
Yeah.
Cooper Mays out of Tennessee, 6'4", 310-pound senior, PFF ranks 613 on NFL.com. This is one of those guys. This is a fucking joke, right? This crop of centers is dreadful. Dude misses a ton of blocks and can't even hit a fucking guy at the goal line when he's lined up directly in front of him. Tennessee guys I didn't like very much. Seth McLaughlin out of Ohio State, 6'4", 304-pound senior. Number 2 on PFF and ESPN, 4 on NFL.com. Finally, good pass blocker and even better run blocker. You want a center who finds someone to hit and delivers, and McLaughlin is that guy. Stalks well and forces the defender where he wants him. Comes out of his stance and delivers a big hit on almost every play. I like him quite a bit. He is probably one of my top centers. One or two.
Spent 3 years with Alabama, and then his final year he transferred over to Ohio State. And so he's seen a lot of good competition. And 6'4", 304. He should be able to hold his own.
Here, real quick, Derek. Is this the biggest event to ever happen at Lambeau? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can't look at like the Ice Bowl game. I mean, if you're looking at attendance-wise, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people up there. It's going to be a complete shit show up there. Joseph Monheim out of USC, 6'4", 302-pound senior, rated 3 on PFF, 4 ESPN, 12 on NFL.com. Better than most, but he gets his feet out from under his body a bit and loses his balance. Tries to keep his hands inside, but reaches outside the shoulders too much on pass blocking. Not the greatest, but certainly not the worst. Torricelli Simpkins III out of South Carolina, 6'5", 312-pound senior. Only he has a rating on NFL.com of 9. Kid is always looking for someone to hit. Not the most talented, but he's a blue-collar kid that tries to do the best job he can and usually does. Better run blocker than pass blocker, but he's not bad at either. Let's late pick that could bear fruit as a primary backup who could spot start. Last but not least of the true centers, Jared Wilson out of Georgia. PFF rank 1, ESPN and NFL.com at 3. The stud of this class, hands down the best center available, excels in both run and pass blocking, keeps a solid base and drives the defender. Can move into the second level with ease as well. He is going to be taken early by whomever needs a day one starter for their offensive line.
Yeah, he can play guard too. So he's a very versatile player at both. That's going to be key making a roster. Well, he's going to be drafted high enough to be on a roster for a couple of years. So he gets coached up. He can play multiple positions in the interior line.
Yeah.
Heck of an athlete.
Derek says, can't win a Super Bowl, so might as well host a draft. Derek must be a Vikings fan, maybe.
That is correct.
Yeah, what the fuck have you ever won? I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but the last time I looked, you made it to an NFC fucking championship, and that's it. So, you know what? Pound sand. It's all in fun.
Ha, Derek.
Or is it?
Suck it.
All right, we're done with centers. We're moving on to guards.
Oh, geez.
The position that I backed up. I can't say played. All right, we're starting with pretty much the stud of this class, and that is Tyler Booker out of Alabama, 6'5", 321-pound junior, rated 1 on both PFF and ESPN, number 2 on NFL.com. Terrific run and pass blocker, able to pull and plow over defenders. He delivers a hell of a hit, and he's mean as fuck.
Yes.
Solid of a guard prospect that you're going to find, and one who will go early because he is day one starter in the NFL. Great player.
Dude, he gets after it, and if you look at him, I mean, he's yoked. He's like ideal if you were gonna build a freaking guy, you know.
He's he's essentially, he looks like he's fucking like DK Metcalf, to be honest with
Yeah,
you,
right.
just with the bigger frame.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean,
Uh,
and he
I
can move. It's
dude,
kind of scary.
dude, I want to meet him so bad, just to see the size right in person. Um,
6'5", 330 or 52 pounds. What I got on mine.
he's
6'5",
352,
352. That's a
352.
big
I
dog,
had
man. That's a massive dude. That's gonna be. Hey, he's gonna be moving guys out on run blocking. That's a massive dude. The way how strong he is too. So like, I think somebody's gonna get a really good player here. I know they had him play. I thought I saw him playing a little bit of tackle because of injury, but
yes,
he's a really interior guy.
yeah.
But
Yeah, they can move him out to like say right tackle. He'd be comfortable enough to be out on that side. I don't know if you could have him at left tackle on there, but I mean he's talented. He's talented enough and he's strong enough to actually handle that position. So, I mean it can happen. It could certainly happen. Next on our list, Connor Colby out of Iowa, 6'6", 309-pound senior. PFF rank 5, ESPN rank 17, NFL.com 26. So we got a lot of fluctuation here. Don't ask. I wasn't real high on him, but I did say that that he gets with an NFL team, they can work with him. Don't ask him to pull because he's slow and delivers a lame hit. He is 50-50 in his run blocking. Sometimes he can't get the defender off the line, and sometimes he pancakes a motherfucker. So he is hit or miss. He gets his shoulders turned too easily at times and loses space. He has the size, but sometimes I don't believe he has the strength and discipline. And I think discipline is the main key right here. Needs to be coached up quite a bit if he wants any shot to start, let alone be a top-end backup. You have thoughts on Connor Colby, I know.
I like him because of his position ability. He's been able to play at Iowa at almost every offensive line position up and down. And I think, like you said, he shows some signs of needs to be coached up. And I think a good team would get a hold of him and coach him up. You got yourself a really good player there. I mean, he's 6'6", 6'6", 309.
Yep.
So maybe a little light in the britches, but that size, 6'6", there's something there. There's definitely something to build off of there. And in his footwork, I think is good enough. And he's got the length. So, and then multi-position guy too. So like he gives you a perfect developmental player to come in and learn, and I think he could give yourself to just enough at guard to hold you over if you had injuries during the season. So I think he's like a third or fourth round guy, maybe a fourth or fifth round guy, but
All right. So kind of like third or fourth round guy. Don't reach for him, up in the second, maybe first round, like Jordan Morgan, somebody like that, right? So Jack Conley out of Boston College, 6'7", 325-pound senior. PFF rank at 16. Much better pass blocker than run blocker. Delivers a nice hit, forcing the defender to get off balance and change their pass rush route. When run blocking, though, he doesn't deliver as big of a hit out of his stance, and he can't get the defender off the line or gives up too much field. Should get a shot late in the draft or as a UDFA. Hayden Connor, Texas, 6'6", 314-pound senior. ESPN rank at 19, NFL.com 22. His run blocking is just awful, and he looks lost. His pass blocking isn't much better, and he feels the need to hold quite a bit. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my team. Again,
enough said.
Yeah, again, Texas guy. I was surprised. Ewers and Manning, under center, are real lucky to have guided that team as far as what they did.
Ewers and yeah.
Tyler Cooper out of Minnesota, 6'6", 310-pound senior, PFF rank at 6. Average run blocker with some push, but can be beat across his face, holds too much and looks lost. His pass blocking isn't terrible, though. He gets his arms extended and deliver an actual hit on the defender. He is a workable prospect who could make a team as a depth piece. Garrett Dellinger out of LSU, 6'4", 325-pound senior. ESPN rank 15, NFL.com 18. Pretty good at both run and pass blocking, drives his defender back with a nice stable base with minimum hands reaching to the outside of the shoulder pads. And that is very, very key out of this whole group this year. His pass blocking is good, and he changes the direction of the defender easily and with good balance. Or, as I said, balloons. Very capable of taking on bigger defenders as well. I like the kid quite a bit as he's a mauler, but has some finesse to him at the same time. So Dellinger out of LSU I liked. That's one of our lower end guys. Dylan Fairchild out of Georgia, 6'5", 318-pound redshirt junior. PFF ranked 10, 9 on ESPN, and 14 on NFL. Has a tendency to get pushed back when pass blocking, giving up too much ground quite a bit as he gets his base too far away from his body. Basically, he's leaning just like this, so his feet are down here. His run blocking is okay, but at times he can only stand a defender up with no drive backwards. I notice he looks like he quit when the play isn't even over and when the play is away from his side of the field. I have real concerns that he doesn't take everything very seriously with football. And that was on his highlight, one of his highlight videos. And I went to another video and saw the same damn thing. I'm like, did this kid just stop moving? Just stop and just looked. It's not.
He's one of the. This guy set some weight room records at Georgia. He's really super strong. He's 6'5", 315. He can move. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
They had him at guard. I think a little bit of guard that I saw. Yeah. I saw him pulling out in a lot of pass screen sets, so he's athletic enough to get out in the flats and get after it. So like that can be coached up. What you're talking about, that's an effort thing. That's an easy fixable thing.
Yep.
And you add that strength because you need that man strength to be playing against some of these D tackles in the league. You got to think about it. You're going against Carter, Phillips, some Isaiah Simmons or Simmons kid from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got
Justin Simmons.
Yeah, thank you. Is it just
No.
No,
Justin Simmons is a safety.
Okay, but
I know what you're talking about.
Grown ass dude, so he's got the strength. So if he can get that coaching, I don't know. I saw it a little different. He was one of the guys I liked, but I feel like he's got a chance. And I know he made Dane Bugler's Freaks List.
Okay.
Yeah. So
hey, we're not always going to agree on guys.
No, you see things from different views. That's all.
I see it from my nerd perspective. You see it from a true, offensive line. You went further as an offensive lineman than I did. So I just look at my whole technique type thing. You look a lot at the strength and if the guys can actually play at the next level, that way. So it works out. We can argue. It's always good. So it's good for live stream podcasts, which, that's what we got going on. Someday I'm going to have Kurt Benkert sitting right there. That's my goal. I'm replacing Paul with Kurt Benkert.
See?
Let's play some Madden. Miles Frazier out of LSU, another LSU guy. 6'6", 317-pound senior, 7th across the board, PFF, ESPN, and NFL. I find Frazier to be the better of the two LSU guards in this draft. Stays more committed to blocks and gets his base set right away, turning defenders away and to the outside in pass blocking. He mauls his defender with his run blocking and keeps his hands inside like he needs to. Keeps his feet moving, which is great to see, and doesn't quit on his blocks. Sometimes gets pushed back, but it's rare. So Miles Frazier, definitely a guy that I liked. Joshua Gray out of Oregon State, 6'5", 299-pound senior, 12th on PFF and NFL.com, 14th on ESPN. Played some left tackle and was able to hold his own in his blocking assignments. He is an above-average run and pass blocker. Fights on every down, which helps him push his defender back and down with his run blocking, and he gets the pass rusher out of his lane and keeps them off-kiltered with his pass blocking. He is one of the better guards in this draft, and it shows. So Joshua Gray, a little underrated ranking wise, but so he's a value guy, in my opinion. Guy that can make a starting roster. Joe Huber, Wisconsin boy, 6'5", 310-pound senior, 17 on PFF, 18 ESPN, 10 on NFL.com. Huber is a better blocker than what he is given credit for. He is an attacking guard who engages with his defender and drives them backwards and sometimes to the ground. He is also able to change the path of the pass rusher and make them have to chase from a different angle. My only knock is that he sometimes gets himself too far forward on run blocks and loses his balance, but he's a dog and an underrated one. Got anything about Joe?
No,
we can't roll Tide, but we can on Wisconsin, can't we?
On Wisconsin, yep.
Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State, 6'4", 315-pound senior. PFF has him ranked as the 8th offensive tackle. ESPN has him at 4, and NFL has him at 1. Both of those are at guard. Jackson is a load. Played some left tackle at Ohio State, where he shut down Penn State pass rusher Abdul Carter. He is very good. He is a very good run and pass blocker, very clean in his technique, which doesn't allow him to get beat often and doesn't have to move his hands to the outside of the shoulders to gain leverage. Even when he gets beat in pass blocking, he has the ability to recover and resume the block. That was one of the more interesting things out of this class. He should be gone day 2 of the draft, and it could be quite early as well.
Yeah, he really. I think the first game they bumped him out to left tackle. He struggled because they had to for Ohio State because of the injury, and then I think that was the next week he played the Penn State game and he shut down Carter, and then now his draft stock is, like you said, he's going to be maybe day 2, borderline early. Yeah, day 2 for sure. But his draft stock, because of his versatility, playing both that tackle, and he did it at a high level. Heck of a kid. Oof, I like him.
I mean, if you're stopping the guy who could be the number 1 overall pick, like just in that, and that was only his second game at the position.
Right, week 2 of practice.
That's pretty fucking impressive. Sorry, not sorry. Nash Jones, Texas State, 6'5", 320-pound senior.
Nash Jones.
PF rank of 15. I had a joke in my head about fucking Pluto Nash when I came across Nash Jones.
Greatest movie ever.
I'm leaving this one alone. Eddie Murphy's had enough fucking bad jokes about him. He holds his own for the most part, but he can be pushed back into the quarterback if he loses leverage, and also can't recover if the defender rushes past him. His run blocking is okay until he looks like he quits on the play and quits moving his feet. And that was more of what it was. It was just complete lack of movement of the feet. Might get a shot at a roster spot on a practice squad, but that's the best he can do, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Luke Kandra out of Cincinnati, 6'5", 319-pound senior, PFF rank 4, 16 on ESPN, 23 on NFL.com. Good Lord, don't lose it now. Very stable with his pass blocking and stays engaged with his defender. When run blocking, he can get his hands outside the box at moments, keeps his feet moving, and has an okay base when engaged. He's okay, but needs to be coached up a tad. Can be a backup, but only as a depth player. Willie Lampkin, North Carolina, 5'11", 290 pounds. So, yeah, just
next.
A little bit bigger than me. Yeah. PFF ranked him at 3. NFL.com has him as the second-ranked center. And ESPN has him ranked at 13. Way too small for my liking. Gets himself pushed back on both running and passing plays. I have zero interest in him since he can't establish his base properly. So we move on. Marcus Mabo. I think it's Marcus.
I think it's just Bo.
I think it's Marcus. The M is silent. I think it's Marcus Bo out of Purdue. 6'4", 303-pound redshirt junior. 11th ranked offensive tackle, according to PFF. The guard rankings 5 on ESPN and 4 on NFL. A Mauler who played some right tackle at Purdue, like his drive, his strength, his aggressiveness. Great base and legs, keep moving on his blocks. Able to drive his defender backwards at will on run blocks and can get the pass rusher off of his path, keeping his quarterback clean. Very solid player and can flex between positions, which is a boon to his draft stock.
Yeah, I don't really see him at tackle. And I know I was listening in this morning on him. The NFL Stock Exchange guys see him more as like a center.
Yeah.
Like if he could play center. I know, weird. I'm like, okay. Have him bounce down. I don't think he's ever played that, but they didn't see him as a tackle, but definitely at a guard, a center, I don't know.
Cheap
penny watch more film than I do.
Cheap penny stocks at center. Yeah, I don't know about the center thing. Just leave him at guard. Don't make him have to snap the ball. He'd be a really good guard in the NFL. Tim McKay, North Carolina State, 6'4", 312-pound senior, PFF rank of 9. A little slow when he's asked to pull, capable pass blocker where he stays engaged with his defender and is able to keep control. His run blocking is a tad lazy and he pulls up on the block. He doesn't have an it factor and comes off as not having his head in the game. So not big on Tim McKay. Wyatt Millam out of West Virginia, 6'6", 313-pound senior. PFF ranked at 13 as an offensive tackle. The guard ones, 11 on ESPN, 5 on NFL.com. Play some. I mean, these guys.
I like this kid.
They think that they play like 2 games at fucking left tackle and then they can just automatically just insert them at tackle. PFF site is in terms of like their draft guide and all that. I was not impressed this year with it whatsoever. Played some left tackle at West Virginia. He is big, strong, and mean. Very good pass blocker and takes on some of the best pass rushers in college football, holding his own. Absolutely mauls defenders with his run blocking, and mauling them probably isn't the best word. Destroying is probably the best word. He is fully capable of handling himself at the NFL level and will have flexibility between positions, which moves his draft stock way up for his talent.
Big dude, man. 6'6", 6'6", 313 pounds, and he can move. And if he gets on you, he wants to finish you. I love that. He's school, man. And at that size, at that size at guard, and then with his 6'6", he's got the arm length and body type, 2 bounce out the tackle. I could see him more at a guard. The dude like in that Niners, the Rams, Packers offensive line, like that zone scheme run and just get after people.
Oh, yeah.
I like this kid. I like this kid a lot. But it'd be like another David Bakhtiari type fourth round guy that could be a 10-year starter.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. Absolutely. Yeah. All righty. So Luke Newman, Michigan State, 6'4", 315 senior, PFF at 14, NFL.com 25. Pretty decent at both run and pass blocking, and I like a guy who can subdue a rusher with one arm easily. It was very impressive on him, one of the plays. He is very strong, and he doesn't quit on the play, continues his blocks through the whistle. Underrated prospect who has a chance to be a primary backup but could start in the NFL. Have you seen Luke Newman?
I got to get on to Luke Newman. I have not seen him yet.
All right. Well, we'll move on to Thomas Perry from Middlebury. Where's Middlebury? No fucking idea.
Division 3.
Yeah. 6'3", 317-pound senior, NFL.com rating of 27. Yeah, I'm not buying into the hype D3 guard who does just enough and looks good at times, but he would get eaten up in the NFL, in my opinion. Tate Ratledge out of Georgia, 6'6", 308-pound senior. PFF rank of 2, 6 on ESPN, 3 on NFL.com. The better Georgia guard. Very stable pass blocker and stands them up right away. He engages his defender and gets their shoulders turned when run blocking, allowing him to control where they go. A very solid prospect who should have a future as a starter in the NFL.
Another massive body who can move 6'6", 308, and can move. I mean, this year there's some big dogs in this draft. I really liked him, and their offense too is very pro style. So I think he'll fit right in. Most team plug right in at guard at the NFL level and be successful. He's got the strength too to back it up, and I believe he's got an epic head of lettuce going on. I think it's that one of them guys. Yeah. Well, I'm a little jealous.
I hate him. Any guy with hair, fucking hate him. Jalen, don't call me Joan Rivers out of Miami. 6'6", 319-pound senior. PFF ranks 16 as an offensive tackle. The guard ratings, 10 on ESPN, 8 on NFL.com. Left tackle at Miami, in all capital letters, big motherfucker. Really good pass blocker and has the ability to switch his focus between multiple defenders. He is really good at shuffling his feet and keeping a great base while engaging. He is quite athletic for how big he is. Needless to say, this translates to his run blocking, where he pounds defenders into the ground. I like him quite a bit, and he can play both guard or tackle in the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's a very sleeper guard. I mean, he's 6'5", 325, but he's very athletic. He's got the FBI football intelligence. I know they projected him late, like 5th or 6th round.
Yeah,
but I think he's going to land and stick with the team for sure. I know his lower body with that strength of his, like, he can move people. He's a body mover guy. He's a mauler, And they didn't play offense like that, but that's where I think his stock kind of, it is where he is. But I think he'll be, once he gets drafted, they're going to be happy with him.
I'm going to make a prediction on him. I'm going to say he goes late 4.
Okay.
So I should put that in here.
You say 4, I'll say top 5. I'll say mid. I'm going to say mid 5th.
Mid 5th?
Yep.
I'm adding this into the spreadsheet. There we go. Late 4, mid 5th. All right. Caleb Rogers out of Texas Tech, 6'5", 312-pound senior. NFL.com rating of 13. He's a fighter who doesn't quit on his blocks, keeps his feet moving with a nice base for balance. Can handle himself well in both run and pass blocking. I'd like to see him get a fair shot at becoming a primary backup with a chance to maybe one day start in the NFL. Or as I put in here, one day stat. Idiot. Jonah Savalania, or how is it pronounced? Savalava Ding Dong out of Arizona, 6'4", 324-pound junior. PFF ranked 12 at offensive tackle. The guard ratings, ESPN has him at 3. NFL has him at 9. Played right tackle at Arizona. He can get pushed back at times when he pass blocks, but keeps engaged on his defender. Gets his hands outside of the defender's shoulders a bit too much for my liking when he run blocks. Shows me he is not as disciplined as I had hoped. He could play in the NFL, but he will take some time to develop into a high-end backup who could start. Your opinion. I know you have an opinion on him.
Yeah, I've been watching him. I think he struggles athletically. I think he's a little bit stiff, especially at tackle. He's going to get run by on some of those speed guys. I think he's more of a guard, and he's another one. I think he was a 324, 330-pound guy. He's a body mover in the run game, and he can get to the linebackers. So he's quick enough in that, but he's a little stiff athletically for me, to be in that tackle. But 6'4", 330, and he's a plug and play guy at guard, I believe.
Okay. All right. So definitive guard for you. Try to keep him away from tackle. All right.
Yep.
That's fine. I can see it. Jackson Slater out of Sacramento State, 6'3", 311-pound senior. PFF rank of 8, as well on ESPN.com of 8. NFL.com has him at 17. I think the love for Slater needs to settle down a bit. He is okay, but he's not great. He can get beat on his pass blocking. He has a tendency to lose his balance on his run blocking. He has his moments where his athleticism shines, but it's not consistent. He can become a top backup in the NFL, but he needs some time and coaching. Marcus Tate out of Clemson, 6'5", 321-pound senior. NFL.com ranking of 15. He is solid in both run and pass blocking. The only issue I see is when he reacts to the snap of the ball. Sometimes he's a little delayed coming out of his stance. Recovers, but it will hurt him in the NFL, so he has to be better. So just, something that can be coached on there. Xavier Truss out of Georgia, 6'7", 309-pound senior. PFF has him 25 at offensive tackle. The guard ratings, ESPN at 12, NFL at 16. Played some right tackle at Georgia. He is really tall, but can get himself, can get himself squatted down to not stay high and get a good block. His pass blocking isn't bad, but his run blocking could use a little fine tuning. Pardon me. He can be a primary backup in the NFL with a really good chance to be a starter in a year or two. I'm bad at this name. Mose Vavo out of Fresno State, 6'3", 317-pound senior. ESPN has him ranked at 20. NFL.com has him ranked at 15 as an offensive as a center. He did play center at Fresno State, so he can play two positions for flexibility. He's a middle-of-the-road pass blocker, but he's a pretty decent run blocker, keeping his feet moving and pushing his defender back. Back up in the NFL with a chance to become a primary, but I don't see him as a starter at the next level. Clay Webb out of Jacksonville State, 6'3", 312-pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 11 for offensive guard. ESPN and NFL ranked him at center. 6 on ESPN. NFL had him at 5. Looks good until he feels he's being overpowered, and then he reaches outside of the shoulders way too much on all of his blocking. If he is overpowered now, he won't fare much better in the NFL. So
he was a transfer out of Georgia. He was a 5-star recruit from Georgia. Goes to Jacksonville State. Starts 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Start 3-year career. Yeah, that's right. 3-year career. Very, very athletic. Very athletic. Very, really good with his hands. Maybe just not, like you're saying, strong enough to hold his own. So you got to get in that weight room. But he's definitely athletic-wise, he can be coached up. I think he can be in that annoying center/guard who gets to that linebacker and just annoys him. A little bit of like a Zach Thomas, where obviously Zach Thomas is really good, but with his technique being coached up, it can be really annoying on these guys. The problem is with Jacksonville State, the level of competition, because he transferred out of Georgia to go,
right.
But it'd be interesting. Take a flyer on him, maybe year 2 in the NFL weight room. So he may be more of a developmental guy.
Well, that's the thing. It's gonna be super late in the draft when he gets taken.
Yeah. So it's be a tall ass to be asking him to be starting on a Sunday for you. I think right off the bat. Yeah. But I think he has a chance.
All right. Yeah. Trey Weddig out of Indiana, 6'7", 319-pound senior. Rated 26 offensive tackle on PFF. ESPN has him at guard and the 21st ranked guard. And then NFL.com has him as the 20th ranked offensive tackle. Middle of the pack blocker for both the run and the pass. I don't like how he stops his feet when he is engaged, but he is strong enough to hold the block. If he is able to turn that around, he would be very, very good in the NFL. Can become a primary backup with a shot to start in a year or two, just needs some fine-tuning. Marcus Ware out of Montana State, 6'4", 300-pound senior. PFF rank of 11. NFL.com has him at 19. Not much to go on here except some video from the East-West Shrine Bowl where Ware held his own playing right guard. He set a stable base and walked his defender back with his run blocking. He was able to keep his pass rusher out of the pocket and remain engaged with his hands kept inside. Not a bad-looking player, but very little to go off of. Should be a day 3 player that will get a shot to back up in the NFL.
Yeah. 6 years, 6-year senior. Great hands. Had a great Senior Bowl.
He's a super senior.
Yeah, super senior. Well, we're just starting to phase out of that whole COVID,
Yeah.
that whole COVID years.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I always kind of cheer for the Montana States. The those they're like underdogs coming into it. So hopefully it makes it.
You're rooting for him? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm
Just
giving
say
the old
that.
girl.
Just say that you're fucking rooting for him. It's okay.
I'm rooting for him.
You're rooting and you're tooting for him.
Yeah, I don't know
Maybe
about that.
too much. Too much. Okay.
All right.
So Sal Wormsley out of Penn State, 6'3", 335-pound senior, no ratings. Has the ability to play at both guard and center as he did with Penn State. Nice pass blocking guard who keeps his man near the line of scrimmage. His run blocking isn't the greatest. He keeps his man at bay but doesn't get a huge push, but rather gets his man twisted enough to create a balanced leverage to keep him out of the play. It's unique seeing just how much it happens. Needs some development if he makes it to the NFL as a back end of the draft or UDFA. Last but certainly not least, this is the man that just everybody just fell in love with after the combine. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. Gray Zerbel.
Ray Zabel, North Dakota State, 6'6", 312-pound senior. I don't even know what the hell you were doing. Were you just?
Oh, you took your hat off. And I'm like, oh.
Fair. It's shaved, it's not bald. It's shaved. PFF ranked number 5 offensive tackle. NFL.com has him ranked as a number 6 offensive tackle. ESPN has him ranked as the number 2 offensive guard. I view him as a guard, not as a tackle in the NFL. That's why I put him at the end of the guard list. Played left tackle at North Dakota State. Dude handles himself very well in both run and pass blocking. Stays engaged throughout the play and is always looking for someone to hit when a defender isn't lined up against him. He is solid and has that mean streak in him. Just mauls a defender on running plays and has shown to be able to handle himself when facing higher level opponents. That was huge. He's a stud, and whether he is playing guard or tackle, he will perform well with his solid base and technique. Maybe more of a right tackle in the NFL, but can start right away. If you're looking at tackle-wise, he'd be a right tackle.
Position versatility. He did everything North Dakota asked for. Played in big games. Obviously, they're always winning championships. Then there was the question mark whether he could hold his own, and then he went to the Senior Bowl, and then he made a name for himself, holding his own.
Yep.
They're going to get a hell of a player with this kid. He's intelligent, FBI, high-level player. I see him at guard. I think he could be guard. But if you ask him to play tackle, I think he could be coached up to play tackle, but he'd be a mean-ass guard in the NFL. Yeah.
So now we move on to officially move on to the offensive tackles. Are you ready, my friend?
Yeah.
We're going to hit it hard. We're going to hit it quick. Anytime you want to interject, you interject. All right. Even if before I move, even if I move on to another guy, just throw yourself out there. Okay. Calvin Banks Jr. out of Texas, 6'5", 315-pound junior. PFF rank of 4, ESPN 2, NFL.com 3. Dude is a load. Gains great leverage on his run blocking and stalks the defender back, working to the next level. Holds his ground with his pass blocking, working the pass rusher to the outside, keeping the pocket clean. Keeps his hands inside and is able to take on double teams. Like this kid quite a bit, and he was Texas's best offensive lineman.
Yeah, very athletic. Definitely has the tools to be coached up to be a long-time left tackle in the league. He's got it all. It just needs to be coached. And about a year in the weight room, bam, you got yourself 8-year left tackle.
There we go. Anthony Belton out of NC State, 6'6", 336-pound senior. PFF rank of 15, ESPN at 10, NFL at 8. Decent pass blocker, staying on his defender, although he can get his hands caught up at times on the outside of the shoulder pads. I do like his run blocking as he gets his large lower half behind him and pushes the defender out of the way for the running back. He's good, but needs some development to clean some things up. he would make a better right tackle in the NFL to me because of the better run blocking ability, and in time could work his way to the left side.
He's got a lot of length. His length is a problem for edge defenders. Definitely. So he puts that to use. I can carry him a long way. Definitely got the lower half too for run blocking. So he's got a nice combo. And what, 6'6", 336 pounds?
He's a big
dude. This year's class of offensive linemen are some dogs. That's another big dude. That's another big guy. It's crazy.
Logan Brown out of Kansas, 6'6", 311 pounds, senior, PFF at 20. Both ESPN and NFL had him ranked at 11. Right tackle at Kansas. He has real trouble keeping his hands inside and tends to grab the defender, loses his balance quite a bit, and falls to the ground. He needs quite a bit of work if he wants to ever be a starter in the NFL, but can become a useful backup.
Another 6-year senior, 5-star high school prospect. Pretty good in that offense. He fit really well in that pro offense in Kansas. He's a good mover. I've seen him out in screens. So definitely athletic for that size. Another 6'6" dude, big dude, can move. Definitely day 3 guy. Day 2, 3 borderline guy. Definitely could bring it.
I find him as more of a day 3, like real early day 3.
There's something there, though. There's something there for sure.
There is.
I like what I saw in him.
Bryce Cabledew out of Kansas. Another Kansas guy right there. 6'6", 315 pound senior, ranked 30th on PFF, 25 on ESPN, ranked as the number 11 offensive guard on NFL.com. The left tackle for Kansas doesn't have great leverage and keeps himself too tall, making him lose his balance. His pass blocking is okay, but he can get beat more often than I'd like to see. Loses too much ground on the rush and will get super handsy. I am not a fan, and teammate Logan Brown may have been the better option on the left side, in my opinion.
Agree.
Will Campbell, this is the darling right now of LSU, 6'6", 319 pound junior. PFF has him ranked at 1, ESPN at 3, NFL at 2. Left tackle at LSU, really solid pass blocker with full engagement with the pass rusher, keeping them out of the pocket. Keeps his hands inside more often than not. His run blocking is just as good as his pass blocking, and he creates a very nice gap for the running back. He is as solid as they come, and will go early to become a day 1 starter. I know you have some thoughts on Will.
Watching him. Yeah, I was watching him today in that tackle. I just didn't like his stance. His stance, he's like almost standing straight up, but he made Dane Bugler's freaks list, athletic freaks list. He's a crazy athlete, super strength. I think he set some records at LSU in the weight room there, kind of like the Rutledge kid I think we were talking about earlier. Did some crazy testing. He is a day 1 starter at guard. I don't know if he's a day 1 starter at tackle, but I know he can play tackle. And I know they have him. I mean, he's nasty. He's mean. I love it. He puts people on the ground. He's slaying people. But I don't know if I like his he was at left tackle, I believe, when I was watching film. I just didn't like his stance. It looked like he was like standing straight up, and he just knew the guy in front of him he could beat. And he's like, okay, bring it. But that's something can be coached. And you got a top athlete like this, like there's definitely a stud, man. I can see why everybody loves him.
Yeah,
easily.
Next, we have Gerard Christian Lichtenhan out of Oregon State, 6'9", 329 pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 31. NFL has him ranked at 27. Left tackle at Oregon State. Gives up way too much ground in his pass blocking, but his run blocking isn't half bad. His height makes it hard for him to get low, but he makes it work. I'd like to see him get a shot at a backup spot or on a practice squad, but I do not believe he will ever start in the NFL.
Yeah, he's a practice squad development guy.
Yeah. Cool.
You never know.
All righty. Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon, 6'5", 311 pound junior. PFF rank of 6. ESPN and NFL had him at 5. The left tackle at Oregon, his pass blocking is pretty good with full engagement on the pass rusher. Keeps his hands inside for the most part, but he is mean and will yank a guy to the ground to prove a point. I laughed my ass off when I saw it. His run blocking is good, and a defender does not like to see a pulling tackle barreling in on them. Keeps good leverage with his base with full arm extension. Could start at right tackle before the possibility of moving to left tackle. Dalton Cooper out of Oklahoma State, 6'7", 315-pound senior. PFF rank at 29, 21 at guard, according to NFL.com. Played left tackle at Oklahoma State. He's an okay pass blocker, but leaves a lot to be desired in his run blocking. He'd be lucky to make a practice squad, and I'm not enthused about his willingness to take out a defender's knees either. Anybody that I catch on a highlight film cut blocking like that, I can't help but just absolutely fucking hate. I don't give a shit if I hurt anybody's feelings with that. If I see somebody automatically go down for the fucking knees and it's not in a full engagement, that's bad news. I mean, it can be coached out, but you know what? I like to send a message. I like to send a message from my little podcast called the Dawghouse Fantasy Football. We're trying new things.
Pretty soon, back at the door.
Knock at the door. I heard you talking shit about me. Who are you? Who are you? I'm Dalton Cooper, bitch. All righty. Next, we have a Johnny Cornelius out of Oregon, 6'5", 310-pound senior. PFF ranked at 19, and also on NFL.com at 19. ESPN ranked him at 14. Right tackle at Oregon. He's an okay pass blocker, but his feet are a little slow, which allows faster pass rushers to get past him. He has trouble getting a good push when run blocking and doesn't get his defender to move out of the way more often than not. He might make a roster as a low-end backup, but I cannot see him making a starting roster.
Yeah, he transferred over from Rhode Island, made it to Oregon, so that he made the step up, played at the high level over there. He's very athletic, pretty good with his footwork. So I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a chance, like you're saying. I'll give him a chance. So we'll see.
All righty. Brandon Crenshaw Dixon out of Florida, 6'7", 316-pound senior. PFF ranked at 17, ESPN ranked at 21, NFL 24. Right tackle at Florida, okay pass blocker with a nice base and arm extension within the shoulder box. Sometimes can get beat by a quicker pass rusher. His run blocking leaves a lot to be desired, though. He looks like he just goes through the motions. I'm not a fan, and he will have trouble making a practice squad. J.C. Davis out of Illinois, 6'5", 320-pound senior, no rankings whatsoever. Left tackle at Illinois, all I said was, oh my God, he's awful. If I just say that shit, that's all you need. That's all you need to fucking know. You don't even need to know the guy's fucking name.
Oh, you're done with it.
But we do need to learn the name of this next guy, and that's
this is tough.
Ariote Ursary. I'm going to get this one down. Arionte Ursary. It's like Ermagerd. 6'6", 331-pound senior. He's a big dude. PFF and ESPN had him ranked at 7. NFL had him ranked at 9. Left tackle at Minnesota, overrated in my opinion. His pass blocking is less than desirable, but he can be taken advantage of by better pass rushers. His run blocking is lazy, and he gets little push. He has the size that someone will draft him earlier than he should be. He will get drafted as a starter, but end up being a backup before too long.
I thought he was a pretty good run blocking finisher. He did dummy some guys, throwing them on pass blocking. I felt, though, like he's a little stiff for his pass protection. But, I mean, I think there's something there for him to be coached up on. definitely think he'd be in a more run happy offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big dude. It's a big dude, massive body frame. Yeah, I know it's 6'6", but like he's like
He's
noticeably
wide.
different.
He's
Yeah,
wide.
he's noticeably different. So they, they have him at tackle. That's probably where he would make his money. Imagine him at guard.
Yeah. All right.
He's a big dog.
Charles Grant, William and Mary, 6'5", 311-pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 14, ESPN at 9, NFL.com has him ranked at 10. He was the left tackle at William and Mary, a pretty good run blocker, locking up with his defender and pushing him backwards. His weakness is his pass blocking, where he has to hold outside of the shoulder box to gain leverage quite frequently. I'm not liking his chances of working the left side in the NFL, as he may be better suited on the right side. On the right side, he could get a chance to start, but if they keep him on the left, he may start but revert to a backup role. Anything?
It's kind of small for his frame, so I think he definitely needs to fill in. But he's played a lot of games. He started 5 years for William and Mary, and then he got a chance to show he did it very well at the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. So he did hold his own for the most part. So then his stock kind of rose. He's kind of a projective, like developmental tackle. You give him a shot late in round and give him a chance. I could see him doing that. He's got to fill in that frame because he's kind of a smaller. He's 6'5", 311, but I think those stats are blown. He looks smaller, and he did dominate at his level, which he should. So now he's up to the big boys, though. He's got to get what we talked about earlier, that adult strength, the man strength. He might struggle at tackle for a little bit.
Miles Hinton, good Lord. Miles Hinton, Michigan, 6'7", 323-pound senior. ESPN rank of 22, NFL 16. Left tackle at Michigan. He's not a bad run blocker and uses his size to his advantage. His pass blocking can use a little work, but he will be drafted as a backup and can work his way into a starting role in a year or two. I like Hinton quite a bit as he is solid overall.
Played great competition.
Yep. Emory Jones Jr. out of LSU, 6'5", 315-pound junior, 21 on PFF, 12 on ESPN, 6 as an offensive guard on NFL. This is the right tackle at LSU. Jones is a big boy. Pretty good pass blocker, but has a hitch sometimes. The same can be said about his run blocking, although he isn't as good at it. Loses his balance sometimes as he gets caught on his heels, literally. I expected more from him, but he is serviceable. He could possibly become a low-end starter at right tackle in the NFL, but it's going to take a year or two before it can happen. Chase Lunt out of Connecticut, UConn, 6'7", 304-pound senior. This is a lankier guy. PFF has him at 18, ESPN 15, NFL at 13. Right tackle at UConn, we don't have to hype every player in the draft, and I'm not going to do it here. He is really mediocre. I've heard so much positive things about Lunt, and I'm just not seeing it. Holds way too much, and he isn't very strong. All around, I'm not a fan.
I got him at 6'8". I don't know. I said 6'7" here, but you never know. But that's, NFLs are looking for that size, man. There's something, maybe they can do something with it, type deal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he'll get a shot, but we'll just have to see what happens, in a year or two, where he's kind of at. Armand Membo out of Missouri, 6'4", 332-pound junior. PFF rank of number 2, and ESPN and NFL have him ranked at number 1. Right tackle at Missouri, although he is lined up on the left side at times. Really good run blocker. Sets his base and keeps his weight balanced, driving defenders backwards. He is also a really good pass blocker and keeps a pass rusher out of the pocket. He can handle all the pass rush moves thrown at him and do it well. Day 1 starter in the NFL, and he will get drafted early in accordance. Needs to stay on the right side, though, in my opinion.
He's like a predator. He's hunting for his meal. He's one of those guys. I really like him. He's very tactical.
I liked him quite a bit. Jack Nelson out of Wisconsin,
Out of Wisconsin, baby.
6'7", 314-pound senior. PFF rank of 23. ESPN and NFL had him at 17. The left tackle at Wisconsin gives up a little too much ground and holds when he gets beat. He's not the best tackle to come out of Wisconsin, but he's not the worst. He needs to be faster if trying to be a left tackle in the NFL, as the shuffle is slow. Not the strongest run blocker, as he can get his defender stood up, but he can't drive them out of the lane. He might be a better right tackle in the NFL, and even then it might only be as a backup. Can he work into a starting role? Maybe, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, he's got to get that strength. He's got to get that strength.
That's pretty critical of one of our own guys.
Right? Yeah, I don't know, because, like, usually a guy with his size coming out of Wisconsin should be a better body mover, especially in the run game. And he kind of he's all right. And then pass blocking, he was so, you know? So, like, I think that maybe it's a coaching thing. Maybe they coach him up, but he's all right.
Yeah.
You know? We're cheering for him, but, you know.
We're sitting here. We're cheerleading. We're cheerleading. Alrighty. Holland Pierce out of Rutgers. 6'8", 341 pounds. God damn, he's big. PFF has him ranked at 24, ESPN at 18, NFL at 14. The left tackle at Rutgers. Remember the scene in Happy Gilmore when Shooter McGavin looks up at Jaws and goes, "Oh my God." That's what happened when I saw Pierce. Because of his height, you can tell he has trouble gaining leverage on his pass blocking, and he's a little slow in his shuffle, which trips him up sometimes. He uses his massive frame well while run blocking and can dominate smaller defenders. He can be shoved aside if he stands up too high and the defender sees that and pushes him low, making him lose his balance. I can see him getting a chance to win a starting spot, but ultimately he should be no worse than a mid to high level backup in the NFL.
I'll give him a chance with that size, man.
Yep. Essa Pohl, Washington State, 6'7", 319-pound senior. This is the guy that visited the Packers.
Yeah.
PFF has him at 28. NFL has him at 26. Left tackle at Washington State, can hold his own in pass blocking as he moves his feet well and keeps his balance while keeping the pass rusher out of the pocket. His run blocking isn't bad either, as he gains leverage on the defender and gets them twisted and moves them where he wants them. Not the best I've seen, but he's a little underrated for this class.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to look at him, so I want to take a look at him earlier. I mean, made the East-West Triangle game, so I have that. Sorry.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say. So I know he got to play some competition. Let's see what's up. 6'7", 319. This seems like a decent frame.
Yeah, this is a Packer guy. This is a Packer guy. Yeah. So they brought him in for a reason. They're going to probably take him. They'll probably take him in about the end of the sixth round, somewhere in there. Caleb Rogers, Texas Tech, 6'5", 310-pound senior. ESPN is the only ranking, and that's at 19. He was the right tackle at Texas Tech. Very capable run blocker who pushes people around like they ain't shit when he wants to. I was getting tired at this point. You can tell. Decent pass blocker, engaging with the defender and able to shuffle where he needs them to be. I like him, but I have some worries about his desire, as he could toss guys every play if he really wanted to. Has a chance to make a team as a backup, and wouldn't be surprised to see him become a starter someday if he really wants it. Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, 6'5", 317-pound redshirt junior. PFF at 3. ESPN and NFL both have him at 4. The left tackle at Ohio State, really solid pass blocker, and I like that he can keep the pass rusher out of the pocket, but can also drive a potential pass rusher back, almost like blocking for the run. Forms a stable base and can keep defenders at bay, as well as push them backwards at times. Very little reaching or grabbing of the defender, which has been few and far between with this draft group. Very clean prospect and one who can start right away in the NFL.
Yeah, I think if he didn't have the knee injury, we'd be talking about like the number one overall tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the tools. He's got the tools, the strength, the run game. He's smart. He got everything you want at a tackle, and he can play both tackle and guard. Obviously, he's going to make his money at tackle. good mobility. He's got speed, great hands. I liked everything about him. Unfortunately, coming off the injury, and he's a junior coming into this draft. There's a lot to like about this kid. A lot to like.
Yep.
I don't know.
He's a grower as well as a shower. You know what I mean? Like, any which way. So on to Branson Taylor out of Pittsburgh, 6'6", 321-pound senior. ESPN has him ranked at 23. NFL.com has him ranked at 15. The left tackle at Pittsburgh holds way too much on both run and pass blocks. He should be stronger for his size, but he doesn't get enough push on the defender. I don't like him, but he could get a shot at a backup spot. Ozzie Trapelo, Boston College. A lot of talk about this kid. 6'8", 316-pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 10. ESPN has him at 6. NFL at 7. Right tackle at Boston College, really good run blocker where he stays engaged with his defender and pushes them back consistently. His pass blocking is above average and keeps the pass rusher out of the pocket without getting himself pushed back too often. He always looks for someone to hit on every play, which is something I like to see. Not the best offensive tackle, but he belongs near the top with a chance to start his rookie season or in year 2.
He's started every game for Boston College. His career, played both left tackle and guard, and speed to power against very good. Absorbs speed to power pass rushes as well. 6'8", 309.
Yeah,
man, another big dog. Another big dog. You know, there's definitely something there. I know he's starting to his trajectory is going up. And he did very well at the Senior Bowl.
Yes, he did. Jalen Travis out of Iowa State, 6'8", 339-pound senior. ESPN has him ranked at 16. NFL.com has him at 22. Left tackle at Iowa State, he is fucking terrible. He's worse than former Cyclone offensive tackle Trevor Penning. If anybody knows the history of us and Trevor Penning, it's pretty fucking bad. And we were on the demise, we were on the overrated nature of Trevor Penning, while everybody else was like, no, Trevor Penning's the next great fucking left tackle. Where is he at right now? He might not even start at fucking right tackle this year for the Saints. So,
well, I mean, his kid transferred out of Princeton and went to Iowa State here. I mean, he's 6'8". He's got a huge frame, got some weight to him. Definitely needs to be coached up. You know, maybe you kick him down, but you really wouldn't want to at that size. You gotta, I don't know. There's a lot to work there, bro. There's a lot of work there.
Yeah, he'll have time. He's a young pup. He's a young pup. I mean, you can train him for 10 years, and then finally he can retire. Get the fuck out of here.
He's the Chase Daniels of left tackles.
That was good. The Chase Daniel left tackle. You'll finally you'll get offered chances to coach somewhere. Get
on TV.
All right, we're almost finished in here, so let's finish strong. Carson Vinson out of Alabama A&M, 6'7", 314-pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 27, ESPN at 13, and NFL at 21. Compose yourself. Left tackle at Alabama A&M, a little slow, but he sets himself up with a nice base and has the strength to take on SEC pass rushers. Needs a little work on his run blocking as he stands up a little too much, but for a small school offensive tackle, he is pretty good. He will need some work if drafted, but he can be more than a capable backup in the NFL with an outside chance to maybe start. He was taking on they were playing Auburn, and he was holding his own. So I was pretty impressed with that, with what I saw out of that kid in that game. Gareth Warren out of Lindenwood, 6'6", 328-pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 32. Left tackle at Lindenwood. He has trouble at the small school level, so there's no way I can condone an NFL team to draft him, not even for a practice squad.
Fair
Moving
enough.
on. Aiden Williams, Minnesota Duluth, 6'6", 305-pound senior. NFL.com has him rated as a number 24 offensive guard. He is a former tight end turned offensive tackle. Played left tackle at Minnesota Duluth. Nice pass blocker who doesn't give up much field and diverts his pass rusher to the outside. Nice stable base and full arm extension. Has some power, but doesn't show enough of it with his run blocking. That is where he needs some work, but he can be developed if someone takes a shot at drafting him as a backup. He's talented enough to make it, but at what level is really the question.
Right, he's a late bloomer at the position, doing a position transfer. Yeah, obviously at tight end, he's an athlete enough, and then you put that athletic ability in the tackle, and then start adding some size. So yeah, he's got a chance.
Yeah,
he's got a chance.
Got a chance.
And he's a local kid, so let's go. Well, at least college-wise from here.
He's from Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota, look, they're across the street here.
Yeah, I don't cheer for them fucks. What are you talking about? Cameron Williams out of Texas, 6'6", 317-pound junior. PFF has him ranked at 9. ESPN has him ranked at 8. NFL at 12. This is the right tackle of Texas. Dude pushes his defender back with his run blocking and doesn't quit until he's almost on the ground. He is a mean fucker. Has the ability to switch to the most dangerous defender when looking at multiple guys. His pass blocking is above average, but needs some slight work on his base shuffle. Keeps the pocket clean long enough to allow the quarterback to throw, but can sometimes get pushed back too far if he gets on his heels. He will get a chance to start at some point, but will probably start as a backup his rookie season unless pushed into service.
Yeah, he played a little bit as a freshman, a little bit as sophomore, and then the last few years is when he really got a chance to start. And you're talking about being a mean son of a bitch. I think you're talking about his pop. He's got like this great, like it stands out on film, his punch. So he's got a lot of power to him. So, and he's a junior coming out, right? Well, he's a junior coming out now, right? Yeah. So like teams have got to love that.
Yeah, he's got room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything else on him? You're good on him?
Just like him, yeah.
All right, cool. John Williams, the most basic fucking name you could ever have. Cincinnati.
Jonathan Smith.
6'4", 322-pound senior. PFF has him ranked at 22. ESPN has him ranked at 20. NFL.com has him ranked at 28. Played left tackle at Cincinnati. He's mediocre. Too many times the pass rusher gets by him and he reaches to hold too much. He looks slow in his run blocking. He can't get out of his stance fast enough to make a hit. Don't get me started about his cement shoes for feet. May get a chance at a practice squad, but I wouldn't want him. Last guy is Mr. Jordan Williams out of Georgia Tech, 6'6", 315-pound senior. ESPN has him ranked at 24. The right tackle at Georgia Tech. Ooh, I didn't think I was going to like him. I didn't think I was going to like him, but he was pretty serviceable with his run and pass blocking, like really serviceable. He gets a good punch on his run blocking more than half the time, and his pass blocking is solid, not allowing the pass rusher in, and with very little reaching outside the shoulder box. Someone needs to take a shot on him and at least make him a backup for their team. That is the last offensive tackle.
That's it.
That is it. So we got the tackles done. I am working on defensive players as we speak. I will have them done by the end of the weekend. I'm going to try and get some podcasts out. Although we're going to try and set up Sunday night. Correct?
Sure.
Do this again.
Yeah.
And basically get.
We got the tough one out of the way. The big uglies. Yeah. Then we get to do the fun guys.
We get to do the fun hitters and all that type of shit.
Oh yeah.
So
big uglies out of the way. This is a nice first test show, right?
Yeah, nice test show. You got anything you want to talk about with the draft here while I'm kind of doing something here?
Draft wise,
anything that you're really excited for?
I'm excited to see the environment of visiting teams who have not got a chance to experience Green Bay and just see all the people coming in, like seeing that Lambeau Field for the first time, the experience, because the community is so welcoming. You can
Right.
say hi to anybody, like it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to like a big hearty like Wisconsin Green Bay Packers hello to like the NFL and welcoming all these people. That's gonna be fun to see. All these people are like, dude, it's like a college town for an NFL team, and excitement. Like, like I could just see Raiders fans walking by like the house with the tailgate party, and they Packer fans like, hey, come on over, have a beer, and the next thing you know, they're playing bags, and having a good time, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I
gonna
hear
be
you.
fun.
I hear
That's
you.
gonna be fun.
I hear you. Yeah. Um, I was a little down. I was a little downtrodden last week. We had some stuff kind of fall through. I was gonna have. I had hats that were supposed to be made, and late again on them, so I had to cancel the order. That was going to be the freebies for any of the subscribers that were going to go up there. But I am going to make an effort to actually get stuff for new subscribers this year, um, and have stuff made. And I need to get that made before the expo in August. But stickers came in today, and that's what really kind of saved. Really kind of saved uh, my downward spiral of for the draft. So I got a couple here that I'm going to show off. There is one that is going to be hidden until I can get the actual video made to really kind of make that one pop off. You know what it is. You know the sticker. You know what I'm talking about. But the first one that's going to be given out. These are going to be given out for free at the draft, and we have the original dog head, the tried and true, and we have this year's draft one. Now you'll see up in that corner over there the original green dog head. You got to go the other way. You got to point the other way. But I was able to get these stickers made with this year's NFL draft logo on them. So there's the green one with the actual NFL draft logo on there. So those are going to be coming out. And then the brand new revamped alternate logo, the Dawghouse motherfucker stickers, which everybody likes. And those ones are right in there. And that's going to have the dog. If it's fucking backwards, I'm going to be pissed. But, it's the dawghouseff.com, which, by the way, anybody that wants to go check it out, it is open. It is free to go over there. If you want to subscribe, the $50 per year for life promo code is at the top of the site, and you can get on there, and then that automatically renews each and every year until you cancel it, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to fucking support it, right? So
That's right.
But it's Jesus. I got to go to bed at 8, so I can at least get 4 hours of sleep. So
yeah, you better get going.
We're gonna do social media. We're gonna do social medias here real quick. All my social medias right now: Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at RoyDawg_13. That's ROYDAWG_13. TikTok is the same, just minus the underscore. So RoyDawg13 over there, and then Dennis M. Roy over on Facebook. Paul, your socials.
Mine is just Ed Burke 5069. That's the Twitter. That's basically where you find me.
On Twitter, and then do you want to give Facebook or no? Okay, he's not going to do it. So
I've already the people that already know.
So okay, as we go out, is there anything that you got going on the rest of this week outside of work?
No, just getting ready to travel. I was buckling up my truck earlier today.
Nice.
Getting that thing ready, and yeah.
I got my all silver lesbian Subaru ready to go.
You filled it up with granola
yet? Oh, and by the way, in case anybody's wondering on this hat, so that is a Packer. That is a Packer colored Milwaukee Brewer hat. Yeah, I made that. They do not sell that. If you want to do it, all you have to do is get just a dark green marker and just fill in all that fucking white shit on there. I was thinking of doing like the stripe throughs, and leaving the baseball in there and just kind of making it, but I was too worried that the green was going to get too dark and it was just going to look fucking black as shit coming across. So, but I am tired. I know you're probably tired too. And everybody's probably just tired of fucking listening to me ramble off fucking names and numbers and shit. But I do appreciate every single person that came in here and was watching and commenting, all that type of stuff. It's very, very difficult to start anything, let alone a fantasy, football type site or information site. So I appreciate each and every single person that is either subscribed or at least shared any type of video, any type of, post that I have with there. Do not think that it goes unnoticed. I notice everything that happens with my social medias. And I do greatly appreciate it. Please continue to do that. I will continue to serve. And try to put out as much good, content as humanly possible. I try to put out a lot of free stuff. That's where the podcast, this is going to be, part of the podcast now. And I will be getting future guests in here. I have talked to Bob Long, who is the author of the Fantasy Football Consistency Guide. It is one of the best books that you could possibly get for fantasy football. And he has said that he would come onto the podcast, and I will try to effort getting him on so he can talk about that, and he can talk about the Fantasy Football Expo that's coming up in Canton this August. So unless, Paul, if you have anything else to say.
Just please keep liking and keep sharing and keep supporting the channel.
Yep, and we're efforting new and improved ideas each and every day. Paul and I talk each and every week about what we can possibly do to make the site even better and grander, but still keep everything cost affordable. I will not take any fucking advertising money whatsoever to bog down that site with anybody's bullshit. Everything comes from the subscribers and what I actually put in to the actual site, and most of that is whoever's subscribes, that money goes right back into the site. It doesn't even touch my fucking pocket. So for Paul Burkholz, I am Dennis M. Roy, and thank you very much. Peace out. We are gone.